when life is about timing, and the timing couldn't be better for us to be with ESPN. So, these guys came in, kicked the tires, looked under the hood, they liked what they saw.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look behind Dana White's $4.2 billion sale. Before we start, I want you to hit that red subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our videos. UFC was launched in 1993 and purchased for just $2 million in 2001 by casino operators Lorenzo and Frank Fertitta. Chairman and CEO Lorenzo Fertitta said it was nearly bankrupt and literally going out of business at the time. The $4 billion sales price represents a 72% annual return every year on that modest original investment. We saw an opportunity, Lorenzo told CNN's Rachel Crane late last year. We felt there was a void in contact sports. We felt if we put in the right rules and regulations, we could create an opportunity for business. UFC is now the world's biggest and most successful mixed martial arts league. The sport combines all different types of fighting, including boxing, wrestling, and martial arts. UFC was once considered a violent fringe sport banned in some locations, but it's made great strides and become more mainstream over the 15 years the brothers have owned the league. It now draws stadium crowds of up to 70,000 fans, as well as large broadcast and pay-per-view audiences. Sponsors now include Bud Light, Reebok, Harley-Davidson, Metro PCS, EA Sports, Toyo Tires, and Fram Auto Filters. New York became the first final state to legalize mixed martial arts in March. But the sport is still controversial. Critics argue that fighters, who are all independent contractors, do not make enough money considering the physical abuse they suffer. Fertitta defended fighter pay on CNN last year. "Our top athletes are making multiple millions of dollars," he said. "What is happening is as the sport grows, as compensation goes up, as revenue goes up, you're starting to see that the guys and the girls at the top are commanding a larger share of that pie." The possibility of fighters using steroids has also created a cloud over the sport. Fighter Nate Diaz said at a news conference in February that everyone is on steroids, the whole UFC. Other fighters and UFC executives have denied that charge. The UFC is being bought by a group led by talent agency WME-IMG. The group includes major private equity firms Silver Lake, Kohlberg Kravis Roberts, as well as the private investment firm of Michael Dell. The Fertitta brothers will retain a minority stake in the company after the sale. The company had a revenue of about $600 million last year, which Fertitta said was up significantly from a year earlier. Its largest source of revenue is pay-per-view fees. It also has a $700 million 7-year broadcast rights deal with Fox, as well as an online subscription package for fans. UFC matches are broadcast in over 156 countries and territories to nearly 1.1 billion TV households worldwide in 29 different languages. And this price is far above some earlier estimates. The union Unite Here did an analysis earlier this year that put the value at $2.2 billion. The closest rival to UFC that is publicly traded is World Wrestling Entertainment, which has a market value of $1.5 billion. The most valuable sports franchise in the world is believed to be the Dallas Cowboys, which Forbes estimates to be worth $4 billion. British soccer team Manchester United is the most valuable publicly held team with a market value of $2.6 billion. Forrest Griffin vs. Stephen Bonner, April 9, 2005. By UFC President Dana White's own assessment, this is the most important fight in the history of the company. The UFC's standing was so low they had to pay the Spike Network to air the first season of their series, The Ultimate Fighter. Griffin and Bonner faced off live in the finale, and the result was a bout where both men somehow survived a non-stop frenzy. Think Hagler Hearns if Hearns never went down. If this fight had been a dud, the UFC might still be a struggling promotion. Georges St. Pierre vs. BJ Penn, January 31st, 2009. The reigning UFC welterweight St. Pierre fought the reigning UFC lightweight champ Penn in a rematch of their closely contested 2006 bout, won by St. Pierre by decision. This time St. Pierre won by stoppage, but in the process showed what many fans love about the UFC in comparison to boxing. The fights people want to see actually happen, regardless of weight class, and fighters aren't penalised for taking on tough opponents even if they lose. Penn is regularly celebrated as one of the 10 greatest fighters in UFC history despite a career record of 16-10-2. Ronda Rousey vs. Liz Carmouche, February 23, 2013. Before Ronda, the UFC was dismissive of women having a place in mixed martial arts. When asked when women would join the UFC, its president Dana White replied, "Never." Ronda changed all of that, as her official UFC debut began a run of first-round submissions that turned her into a full-on superstar. Ronda hasn't fought since a knockout loss to Holly Holm in 2015, but even in defeat she demonstrated her star power, drawing a UFC record 56,214 fans. Conor McGregor vs Chad Mendes. July 11th, 2015. Followed everywhere by his fanatical Irish fans, McGregor has proven a massive attraction for the UFC. As well as a bit of an annoyance, he was dropped from UFC 200 after demanding a record $10 million guarantee. This was the fight where it could have all been derailed, as he accepted on short notice a replacement opponent for injured champ Jose Aldo. Mendes opened the fight by destroying McGregor with his superior wrestling, only to have McGregor abruptly knock Mendes out just before the end of the second round. McGregor went on to beat Aldo and now is a big enough star to jump weight classes and shrug off a loss to Nate Diaz. But this was almost the end of the line before he really got started. McGregor's entrance arguably overshadowed his performance in this fight, as surprise guest Sinead O'Connor serenaded him as the crowd went wild before he even had chance to throw a punch. And that's all for today, folks. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another amazing video from us. Until next time.